It is Tuesday, the 18th of March. How you doing, bath time?
I'm very good, thank you, yesterday. I've had a nice day. How about you?
I'm good. I'm always good, man. I'm always good, as I keep telling people. Second day of an extremely long international break for us. So we will be talking about transfers at some stage, guys. I know we said we wouldn't, but I suppose at some we're gonna have to fill some gaps somewhere, I suppose. But look, let me say a couple of howdies. Andrew, how you doing? I said, oh Lord, I'm so scared. Right, I'll just do big up for that one. I'm gonna read this first.
It's The Godfather.
Okay, cool. There you go. There you go. That's fine. Why can't I see that? My glasses are so dirty. Fucking hell. Oh, look. Andrew, your message is up there anyway, man. I can't see all of that. I came here tonight on my day off. The day of my daughter's. Oh, yeah. Definitely The Godfather. Okay. A bit random. Yeah, I do. The first one I like. The second one. The third one was trash. I don't see, some people see it as the movie of, whatever. It's just a movie I watched, I enjoyed, but some people, go back and quote it and do it word for word and stuff. I don't think it's that sort of movie for me personally, but yeah, it's a good film.
I really, really like the first one. Well, I really like one scene in the first one where he's in the hospital with his dad and he realizes people are coming to finish the job. I think that's a brilliant scene, but I'm not a huge fan of the second one, and I've never seen the third one.
The third one was really bad. The third one was really, really bad. Yeah, money in it. That's what they're doing. There you go. Stuart, big up, man. I hope you're doing well. He said, Andrew, now we can say hello. Yale. Mr. Hojlund is off to Napoli to be back up to Lukaku. Okay, we'll come back to that. There you go. Yeah, we'll come back to that one as well. Fuck me, Stuart. You can tell what sort of a day I've had currently bath time.
I can.
Yeah, I like the movie Goodfellas. That's from Kieran. That's a good movie.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I like Goodfellas.
I like Casino as well.
Casino. Is that the one with what's that woman?
Sharon Stone.
No, that's not Casino. Casino didn't have Sharon Stone in it. Didn't Casino have? What's this?
Casino's the one where they're in like Las Vegas.
Is that Sharon Stone? Casino.
I thought it was.
Isn't that the one?
Let me check.
Who's the woman that I'm thinking of?
Michelle Pfeiffer, maybe.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Scarface? That's who I'm thinking of.
That's Scarface, isn't it?
Oh shit! Yeah, you're gonna have to have a look. Boss.
Yeah, Sharon Stone is in Casino, and I'm fairly sure Michelle Pfeiffer is in Scarface, which is a remake of all things.
What, Scarface?
Yeah, it's like Scarface is a remake of a film made in like the 1930s or 40s.
Yeah, we were, but we're gonna drift on now. Richard, how you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. Beefy Mario. True Romance, Christian Slater, amazing gang movie, the best gang movie, man.
What, you think that's the best one, True Romance?
No, I don't. I don't know. It was. I didn't think that was okay. Not really. I'm trying to think of a good gang. Now you're thinking about it.
Warriors.
I don't think I've seen that.
The one where they kill Cyrus. They're in New York and they're all in like leather. And they got to get back to Coney Island and they get attacked by like people who were like a sort of baseball gang, and I think there might be a rollerblading gang. It's a very silly film. It's really good.
It's a really silly film, but it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculous, but it's done seriously. Like loads of people, like The Warriors is a really famous film.
Okay, no, what year is that then, bath time?
probably like, I would think 79.
Oh, good Lord have mercy. Come on, man. 1979.
Yeah.
There's no chance I would have seen that, bruv. No chance.
Well, not is it that too early for you?
Yeah, I was 7, and there was much more important things for me to be doing than
Yeah, but have you seen Alien? Like, Star Wars is 1977. Alien is 1979.
I was taken to the cinema to see Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I have no idea, but I know they've got pictures on them old Poiler roads at my granny's house. That and Aristocats. I 100% remember getting taken to the cinema to see and seeing Baloo. I mean, these memories. And my cousin crying because he was so big. Just started to remember. Oh, these are memories that I forgot were in there.
Yeah.
Oh God, who else is in there? Look, see, they're talking about Scarface, Godfather. See, yeah, there's a few out there. To be fair, there is a few out there. People just, it is what it is. Everything's based on opinions and what they decide they like and what they don't like. And yeah, like our players, we've got a lot of disagreements on a lot of our players. But Rasmus and Onana separately, obviously, have both been speaking about they want to stay at the club. Onana's quote is slightly different, saying that he believes he's got the manager's backing. And Hojlund saying he has no intention of going anywhere next season. One, do you think any of them can stay? We're not going to have the money to be buying a first choice goalkeeper. Rasmus, I'm not sure can get sold. I know he's been linked with Napoli. We don't know how true their money is. I mean, they tried to get Garnacho, but
Gavilia. They've got money.
You don't think they're going to come back in for Garnacho? Do you think Garnacho has maybe turned the corner with Amorim?
I think it's probably a matter of pride about coming in with Garnacho. Like it was salary issues, stuff like that. I don't think that they'll come back and revisit it because he kind of fobbed them off a bit. But I mean, when you think about Onana, I think it's possible that we can kind of get rid of him while still keeping him, on the basis that, like, we know that Amorim likes a cup keeper. Like, we've seen that with Binder and stuff. Like, Ten Hag wasn't that way. But we're going to have to sort of, like, I think we need to get a new reserve keeper in. Like, Binder hasn't been very convincing, if you think back. Remember the Spurs game where they Olympicoed him from the corner?
I mean, the mad thing is, the second half of the Spurs game, he was decent, wasn't he? The first half he was terrible. I'm sure the second half he wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but like, look, there's a reason why like Onana is still playing. I think we need a reserve goalkeeper, and I think if we get one in, that could be like a kind of soft succession plan to Onana. I think, have we got African Cup of Nations coming up next January? Has there been one this year?
I don't know.
No, there hasn't. After that, so there's one next January then. It's every 2 years. So hopefully we can get a keeper in. Like, Onana is like, he's had his time. It hasn't worked out. He's been given enough rope to hang himself, and my God, has he hung himself, in my opinion.
He's been absolutely shit. I mean, if you look, he kicks us out of the Champions League single-handedly.
Yeah.
And he really will. He can't even say hands. What's he saving with? We were singing. We had all of these chants. We were on there with what's his name? Oh God, my head's gone.
Saeed?
No.
Solo?
No. Stratford Paddock, not Jay.
Jay?
No, not Jay. when we were singing the Onana chants and everything, and then he came in, and I remember Brush said, be careful what you ask for. He's not as good as you think he is. And Brush just left it. He didn't say anything else. And he's been so humble with it. He hasn't come back and saying how shit he's been or anything. But yeah, he
that's better than my Philip Schofield metaphor for Onana, which I was never allowed to say.
Yeah, and you're still not allowed to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think, right, one of the things is that in some ways you can take a goalkeeper who's got a rick in his game. Like, maybe they're not good at catching, maybe they're not good at like playing the ball out from the back, maybe they're not good at shot stopping, they're poor at one-on-ones, something like that. Like, we're not in a position where we can go out and grab a world-class goalkeeper, but we've got to have a goalkeeper who's good at something. And I don't know what Onana is good at. So any keeper that comes in, you've got to think we're going to get a similar level of performance across the board with at least one thing improved. And I hate our build-up shape. I think it's bloody awful putting a centre-back in at a pivot. That's a crime. For a midfielder, that's an absolute crime. Like, you get loads of centre-backs that will always say, I can play in defensive midfield. They can't. Like, they don't know how to receive the ball, like all these different things. Like, even at the top level, I don't think that they can do it properly. So if we can just get a goalkeeper in that is maybe a bit better at building up from the back, then we got a chance to go up a place or two next season. And then if they're actually competent at being a goalkeeper, we might be able to go up 3 places.
Three places from the 15th that we're at.
Yeah, we could be looking at single figures with a couple of decent transfer signings. But for me, the issue is, like, we're going to have to take a huge financial hit on him or loan him. And I just...
Then we're not going to loan him.
Who's going to take him? Can we get him to Saudi?
No, I don't think he's ready for Saudi yet.
Well, he's just going to sit here until, like, the last year of his contract then.
It's what United do. I mean, I suppose they're going to try and cover their losses, like they do with Sancho, get him down to the last maybe 2 years. I mean, it was 50 million they spent on him Bath time. It's not even like it was 30 where you could say, all right, you can hold her. Nobody's even going to pay 20 million for him. He's not going to get better. I don't think he gets better.
I think we can get 20 million for him. Like, definitely from Italy.
I suppose his stock maybe still be high in Italy, innit?
Yeah, I mean, they had issues with him in Italy, I believe, but 20 million for a Champions League finalist goalkeeper that knows their league. I assume he knows the language and the way football is played out there. I think, Napoli have basically turned into this team that buys everyone for us. So maybe we can get him to Napoli. I have no idea who's in nets there, but hopefully... I don't know. I'm waffling here. I need him gone. Personally, I've lost all trust in him.
Yeah, I mean, even during the watch along on the game the game against Leicester, I was cheering him for doing
the basics.
Just the basics, just catching the ball and and just falling down and killing a little bit of time. And then when you had to make the save, his arms just don't seem like they stretch out far enough half time. They just, I don't know. It's so...
Well, he's got an odd build.
Yeah, for a goalkeeper, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Goalkeepers, you want them to be like, those sort of inflatable things outside the car shows? Like, that sort of...
When the arms do this.
Yeah, when
the arms do this. Yeah,
you want them stringy, like string cheese. And Onana's a bit of a he's pretty built and stuff like that. And I don't know if that affects his goalkeeping technique and things. But I mean, just someone who doesn't spike the ball up, who can catch a ball and not just throw it up in the air, would be my preference.
Just right up in the air. It's like some of our defenders' headers, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Like if Delit could get a bit of height on his headers,
No, it's
that'd
all
be
right.
nice.
I'll get lost. Leave. Delit's got nothing to do with nothing. He's got nothing to do with this argument. Let me just get a couple of these ones up next year. These ones up next year. Hold on. That shows up. Sorry, 1 second. Right. So Mark Harris is saying, just give Hojlund and Onana their P45. What? P45 and their what's that inflated pay? Their next inflated.
I seem check their next inflated paycheck.
Oh, right. Yeah, it could be. Guys, you lot need to type properly, man. My brain ain't gonna work to be trying to work out what you're saying. So I am titanium, bruv. If you're not gonna talk full sense, don't type. Yeah, tactical devils. I suspect we're looking at a goalkeeper, and quite frankly, Onana isn't good enough. Agile beast. Hojlund is going to say that in a way. He's going to say that in a way, I would be disappointed if he really had to give up, admitting that he can't hack it at a big club. If he's going to be good enough, he's not going to be good. No, he's not. I don't think he will be. I don't.
Beautifully read.
Yeah, it was. But do you know the beautiful thing about it is they're on screen, and I've already explained to them what kind of a day I've had. So don't worry, man. It's
their fault, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's their fault. And guys, if you're gonna type, don't type things that are so long. Look at this, perfect, bang. What about Trafford? See, nice and simple. Trafford, anybody in the chat? Bath time.
He's got an annoying brother.
Is this a joke or is this real?
No, it's real. His brother is a YouTuber called Thogden, who I don't really like. He's like an annoying person. And we've got enough annoying YouTubers without adding another one to them. But look, he won. Did he win the Euros with England? Like the under-21s or whatever. He'll be a decent goalkeeper. He knows the league. He'll be an upgrade on Onana. It really comes down to price.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't have a buyback on him, would they?
Who's City?
Yeah,
I think they probably do. They have buybacks, I think, on most of the players that they sell, except for I don't think they have one on Palmer because it was like a huge deal, but they had one on like Lavia. They had one, or they've got one on Delap. It wouldn't surprise me if they have one on Trafford. And who knows? They might like execute it because, you know, Edison he wants to go to Saudi Arabia, doesn't he? And that's Stefan Hager isn't stepping up.
I mean, yeah, he wanted to go. I know, I'm not saying he forced him to stay, but he kind of did say that he wasn't allowed to leave, didn't he?
Yeah,
Pep. So I mean, if he knows he's going, maybe they are planning ahead. It would be interesting to see. Agile Beast is just saying, would Bayern fancy him as their next goalie after Neuer?
That's interesting, that, right? So I was thinking about this the other day, Mr. B, is that Bayern Munich, like as part of their kind of like club identity, they always have the German number one as their goalkeeper. Right. So if you're the German goalkeeper, you go and play for Bayern.
Yeah.
It's just something that they've always done. I would quite like United to have something like that. So, like, you know, if you're the England centre forward, you play for Manchester United.
Who's the England centre forward? Harry Kane.
Yeah, so for example, if we had that kind of policy, we'd have got Harry Kane 6-7 years ago.
Okay, 7 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. Not now. Like I'd take him now, depending on. Well,
price. we had the England centre back. He just wasn't very good when he was playing. When he needed the captain's armband for us. So what are you saying, that it needs to be the striker?
No, it's just what I would like it to be is a central player. Like we always have them, like, you know, the 9, the 6, the 4, or the 1. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't take the 1 because then it would be Pickford.
He's better than Onana, man.
Onana, man. So let me get back to some of these messages. Kate Cadet saying, I don't know why I started this one. Absolutely terrible team in possession. I think he is talking about United, to be fair. Jale is saying, we put Onana on the market. Everyone with a ball would hide in a corner. Yeah, see. Everybody, yeah, okay, fair enough. Stuart is saying he'll take him all day. Fawn has been drinking. As, yeah, especially with reason the 100% been drinking. Stumpy saying bring back the Gea. Kate Cadet is saying yes to Trafford. Yes, he is Andrew. He is what's that name again?
Thogden.
Thogden. Okay, yes, Thogden's the episode. Mark, there's no problem with that, mate. It happens. It happens to it happens to us all. Any league from the champion, any keeper from the championship is better than Onana. Let's see if there's anything else. Swansea have a good goalkeeper from Chile. Bath time.
Vigoros. I've absolutely no idea. I mean, Chile have got a lot of history with goalkeepers. Let me tell you that. One of them got banned for like 10 years, I think, for he in a qualifier against Brazil, he hit a razor blade in his glove and cut his head to pretend that he got hit by a bottle from the crowd.
Serious?
Yeah, and I played against him in five-a-side, Ivan Zamorano's like Ganchers.
Fuck off.
I promise you. Look it up.
Oh, a dodgy bastard.
Yeah, man.
Tactical Devils. We signed Onana for 47.5. This is stuff that we normally talk about. So his book value drops to 28 points. Jesus Christ. We ain't getting him for that. We'll probably have to hold him for another. Yeah, we'll probably have to hold him for another year.
You've also got to include. You have to include the signing on fee and any agent fees and that, which I would say rounds it to 30 million. So this summer, we would need, like, if we get an offer of 31 million from Nana, take it.
Oh, and just accept a slight.
No, that's profit.
Drop. Oh, okay, yeah, 1.2. All right, yeah, I got you. Okay, well, look, anything's better than nothing, innit?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I know he checked. He already knew you didn't have to check. Bath time's the oracle, man. He knows everything. He knows everything, apart from decent players like Scott McTominay and stuff like that.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So look, obviously they've both spoken. They both are saying that they don't want to go. A player who has accepted he will be going is Ericsson. Obviously, he's been speaking as well. And he's just saying that he expects to leave and he wants to play abroad. What he did say was that he came back. It was interesting. He said a quote about coming back to prove that he could play, and now he wants to go and enjoy the last part. So he's not going to. He has no intention of staying in the Premier League, to be fair. So he's just weighing up his options at the moment. Thoughts on what Ericsson's done for us? And is it au revoir or is it an F off?
It's an au revoir. I really, really like Christian Eriksen as a footballer. He's one of these players, I think a little bit like Juan Mata, that there was obvious quality there, but we just couldn't quite like find a system, find a place for them to show their quality. I have to say, though, he was a big bollocks at the weekend. That's one of the worst performances I've ever seen from him. He was terrible against Leicester. Terrible. I wish him the best. You know, I mean, like, it's incredible that he came back from like dying on a football pitch and like being allowed to play football. I think he's done okay at United, and I just wish I wish him the best because he's my kind of player. He's very scruffy the way he looks. Doesn't really care about his appearance. He like looks after the ball and stuff, but you can see that the football has kind of left him in the last couple of games that he's played. But I would always look back on Christian Eriksen fondly. I like him as a footballer.
Just let me get a couple of these starred ones up 1 second. Where is it? There we go. Mr. B, if Rasmus is -9 rating, what is Onana? It'd have to be letters. And it'll be it would have to be letters, and it'll be starting with an F. So yeah, it's not the best. Simon Warner saying that Mount needs to go. Ericsson is planning to go, and put Onana on the list too. I mean, the coaches always seem to like Mason Mount.
I like Mason Mount.
I think he's going to do a good job. I wasn't a Mount fan, and I'm probably still not, but I think he'll do a job. I think he'll do a good job in this system that Amorim wants to play.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I think that one thing you've got to kind of look at is that, like, in the uptick in our form in the last, like, 3-4 games, Amorim learnt something against...
He could have said Mount of garbage. Sorry, Walter, go on.
That's all right. I think that, like, recently, one of the things that's happened is that we are playing much deeper. We're playing in a mid block, and I think that, like, in the game we got a man sent off in that Amorim said, like, I couldn't believe how much better we were playing deeper and all these things. If you want to have, like, a kind of, a hard-working pressing team or something, like Mount is your man for that. Like, winning the ball higher up the pitch, sticking with his man, getting ahead of the ball. I think he's a good player, but the issue is well, you know what the issue is. It's if he can stay fit, and if he can't stay fit, then I don't know. Like, we might be able to sell him because he's a homegrown player in the Premier League, which carries a big value to it. But he's basically, when he comes back, he's got to stay fit till the end of the season.
He has to. I mean,
yeah.
If he goes again, I mean, I don't see how they can cut their lot. I just don't see how they can cut their losses on Mason Mount, because nobody's going to come in for him, because we're actually going to be sending him because he's injured. Do you know what I mean?
Well, what we would have to do, I think, is look at someone like Harry Winks, who had a lot of injury problems, was, he was seen as a very, very good player at Tottenham, was injured for like a year and a half, and he got sent out on a 6-month loan to Italy to prove that he could, like, stay fit. Then he was sold to Leicester, and he's been fit for about 2 years, and is probably now someone that, like, might move for Leicester at the end of the season to whoever comes up next year.
As long as it's not us.
Well, but you know my thoughts on Harry Winks.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said that. That's why I said it's not us.
Yeah, but the point is that process of sending him out on loan to a league and getting and making him prove that he can stay fit for 6 months, and then selling him on maybe a pay-to-play contract with a reduced wage, that's essentially the plan that we're going to have for Mason Mount if we want to sell him. Like, he's got to demonstrate he can stay fit for 6 months or a year. So basically, if we can keep him fit till the end of the season, we can make an evaluation in the summer if we're going to loan him with a view to selling him, or if we're going to trust in him. And as much as I like Mason Mount, I think sorry.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. I think I spoke out loud. I thought I was talking in my head. You can't trust him.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, is that he was bought by a previous regime for a previous system. Let's just get him in the shop window, and if you want to back this manager, let's get someone in that, like, fits his system.
God, that's more losses. God, this regime that this last year really did. This last year, Ten Hag really did kill him. Bloody hell!
I know that FA Cup is it's so weird, isn't it? Because if we win the Europa League, we get into the Champions League, and we've done that off the back of that FA Cup, which cost us 300 million in the transfer market. It's that, honestly, that FA Cup is the biggest sliding doors in football.
Yeah. Because, I mean, as much as we were happy on the day, the best option probably would have been. I said this straight in. I'll take the win in it. I'll take the joy.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, if we had lost, Ten Hag would have been gone. Amorim would have been in early with his players.
But also, if we win the Europa Cup like this year, we only got in Europa Cup off the back of that FA Cup.
Jesus.
And that gets us to the Champions League. And honestly, that FA Cup win is going to be a massive point in our history. It's so interesting, all the things that have come out of that beautiful day.
As long as Yabba doesn't come on in there singing it, it's all right, isn't it? Yale, did hear the news. Euro, Maguire, Mount, Mainu, and Shaw will be back after the break. Yeah, he even says we're going to win the league. I don't know where you heard that from. I don't think Shaw's back.
I've heard that April 1st, and that's not a joke. Honestly, that's not a joke. I've heard that Mount and Shaw have been penciled in for April the 1st quite a long time.
Okay. Well, look, we'll. I don't know. Kieran, on Mason Mount is a joke signing, and a PR signing wearing the number 7 shirt. I mean, the fact that he managed to get that shirt. I mean, it's just the ideology, man. That's a sacred shirt for the club, and
that should be Bruno's.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's earned it. I'm of the opinion that if there's no one good enough to wear that shirt, don't give it. I remember Lingard was after it, and things like that. I think that you got to have 2 incredible seasons, and then you get the number 7 shirt. I know Ronaldo, obviously, when he came back, he kind of earned it. I think Cavani actually kind of grew into that shirt. He was a decent number 7. I'm a big fan of Cavani.
Yeah,
but
it's become he sulked when what's his name?
Well, Ronaldo turned up. Yeah. But it's become a bit of an albatross in it now, that shirt. People really want it, and they're never really good enough for it.
Bloody hell. Are we ever going to get somebody who's good enough for it?
Yes.
No, Stuart. No. I wouldn't be happy with that.
Look at this. What a turnaround from Miss Griffith.
What is going on?
Are you trolling us, Steph? Is this going to be a troll underneath the bridge?
That's what I was saying. Stuart says Bruno's a number 7, will never be a number 8, but he's our best. He's the best player for us. So,
do we think number 7 has to be the right winger, basically? Then,
no, he needs to be somebody who's going to play every fucking game. Though I want to see my number 7 with running off with glory.
I think they've got to be a goal scorer now.
Yeah. They need to sell the shirt, so it has to be somebody who's going to make numbers or go past a player.
Yeah, it's got. I mean, I know Bex wasn't what you would call a flair player, but he was a very different player when he was originally number 10, and then he got the number 7, and he was at the start he was a little bit different. He was a bit of a dribbler and things. And then obviously he became one of the best kind of crossers that the Premier League and indeed world football has seen. But I think now with the number 7, you want goal scoring pace and flair and maybe a bit of trickery in there. That's the kind of the spirit of it.
Stuart said, if Mark can get 7, so can he. I'll leave him. Look, we'll just wait. I think we need to pass judgment when he actually starts playing.
It's been 2 years since we signed him, Mr. B.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah, I just thought I'm sick of going in on the players. I think it's doing my head in. I've done my year of moaning about him. I wanted him to come back and play under Amorim, and he hasn't been able to. So I'm still hopeful that he's going to show some glimpses of something that make him stay. But you said if he can't stay fit, then there's just no point in it.
To be honest, I think that I know, like, we're Manchester United and we want really flary attacking players that excite the blood and things. But at the moment, I really want, like, a solid midfielder, a solid goalkeeper, and a solid centre back. Like that.
We've got a solid centre back.
Well, yeah. In Delict.
Yeah.
Nah. Delict. You know, like he's a very average mid. I mean, like, I'll give you an example, right? You know that block he did against Leicester.
Yeah, the one where he dived in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did that against, like, Gakpo. He did that against Bowen to concede a penalty. Like, he rushes out late all the time and stuff, and it'll work against teams in the lower half of the table. But if we're aiming to, let's say we're aiming to get 6th next season or something like that, Delict's kind of like aggression but without athleticism, combined with his, like, limitations in passing the ball, he's not going to get us there. He's a good squad player. He's better than Lindelof is. Like, but I'd be much happier with a better quality centre back, and we definitely need a better number 6. But we need a Casemiro that can run about a bit.
No, well, we spent 70 million on our one who couldn't run about bit. So imagine how much they're going to try to spend on one that can run.
Yeah, but I mean, when you see, like, Casemiro on the ball and stuff, you can see why he's so high, why he was so important and highly valued. Like, compare him to, like, Ugarte, who is
they're different
he's
footballers.
Very limited. He's very
different footballers.
Look at the sort of the switching from the center of the pitch from my midfielder. That's what I
know. The first time passes over the top to Bruno. I get it, but he can't get around the pitch. Look,
what? Go get Sander Berg or someone like that. Someone who can kind of do that. Like, I don't know. I still
too late now. They've got Ugarte. Look, the partner they have to find. Look, are they going to keep Bruno in there for another season? They might. It's going to be interesting what players actually arrive through the door, and I'm not going to be talking about them until they arrive.
What do you think happens when Kobe comes back?
You know what? It's weird, isn't it? I want him to be at the club. I just don't know where he plays. He can't do what Garnacho does, and to a certain extent, he probably can't do what Xerxes does, but could do it in his own way. So maybe the left 10. I don't see him. I don't see him. He definitely can't do the Ugarte role. And the role that Bruno is playing beside Ugarte, I'm not sure he's physically strong enough yet to do that role. And he definitely wouldn't have the mental sense to do it. So I think it's left 10. I think that's the position he can play.
So if Xerxes, Ahmad, Mount, Mainu are all fit and stuff, you think he's riding the bench?
Yeah, he would have to at the moment. Yeah, he would have to turn it up. To be fair, I mean the thing is, Ahmad could probably go right of the 4 in midfield.
Like,
he did play it. Yeah, wing back. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Wing back, and he has been doing, and that's another set of bullets because he wants the team to be attacking, and Ahmad does have the defensive discipline. He wins a lot of his duels. He wins the majority of his duels, to be fair. So maybe it's Ahmad that side which takes him out of the equation. Yeah, and that's probably more team. That's more team towards team, and then Xerxes. Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, guys.
Mainu can score goals, and I'm not sure that Xerxes can. And, like, Mainu scored in the cup final. Like, he scored against Wolves. Like, scored that beautiful goal against Liverpool. You remember that one? It just curled it in the top corner.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's strange what you forget. So yeah, do you know what? Mainu would be left 10. Yeah, it would have to be left 10. And then if it's a battle between the both of them, then competition is good. competition is good. I wouldn't have an issue, but I don't see him being able to play anywhere else in Amarin's formation by half time. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong, because like he's a young man, Kobe, and he doesn't have running power. Like someone like a Joel Linton will like not only like physically beat him up, he'll just run him into the ground. Like we've seen his like recovery pace, his engine, as it were, isn't like good enough. And like one of the things that Ugate's got is he's got good running power. Like, so Ugarte can cover those spaces and he can recover them as well. Kobe, I mean, you got to remember that the boy played in an international final in a 3-man midfield, and that's he needs like the kind of like the McFred players to do that running for him. And so in a 2-man midfield, I can't see it. But then again, there's very few players that I think can play in a 2-man midfield.
I mean, look, it's not vogue. It's not something that the kids have been brought up on. So yeah, I mean, you said that you couldn't play, you wouldn't be able to play in a 2-man midfield, and obviously with all of the versions and the tactics of what they're doing, playing against threes in most cases, it does make it difficult. Simon Warner is saying, oh shit, did I get it up? No. I'm sorry. Chelsea will pounce if Mainu's money doesn't rise soon. Agile Beast is saying, I like Ugarte, but there are lots of areas of improvement with him. Yale, Mainu will be a bench player. He does not really fit. Kobe peaked too early. I like him, but he's overrated. Vincent. The thing is, oh, Jesus Christ, let me leave this fucking camera. 1 second, guys. I think that makes more sense. I mean, the light now, I can see it now. The thing is, we're not going to get the players we want in. We're going to get these low-name, low-club players, unfortunately. Kobe's just not a guy for a 2-man midfield, but he still has quality. I am titanium. I love Kobe's dribbling. It's so smooth. Kieran is saying, I agree, Andrew, but I'm yet to see a dominant performance from Mainu. Andrew's saying he can't be effective in a 2-man midfield because of his lack of pace. More to do with lack of positioning, I think, to be fair, and understanding when to go and when not to go. Simon is saying, I'd love to see Mainu back in the England team eventually. Let's have a look on here. There we go. This is from Stephanie. Mainu needs to up his fitness, good football on the ball, but no real engine. Yeah, everybody seems to be saying that the engine part of it.
Yeah, it's recovering space, because if you want to play high up the pitch, you do that so you can win the ball high up the pitch, and there's a short route to goal, and that's like the vogue in football. But it means that your players like have to recover huge amounts of space. And when you look at players like Haaland, Ollie Watkins, like these kind of transition specialists, you've got to be a good runner who can run, keep up with them, but also be able to be in a position to knock them about a bit for 90 minutes. And Kobe Mainu, maybe he can develop that, but he's nowhere near that like physical standard yet. So when you look at players like Cunha, I think is one that is always sort of brought up. Obviously, my favourite, Joel Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, Gravenberch, like Wijnaldum when he was at Liverpool, Henderson. These are players that don't have anywhere near the levels of skill that Kobe does. But football is a physical game, and you need physicality. And
I think it's getting a lot more physical as well. Yeah. Look, maybe it's something that he can hone in at United and not at Chelsea, because yeah, I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't think he's worth. Yeah, he's not worth the money. He's not worth the money that he wants. But I don't want him to go anywhere. BT.
I'd be devastated. Like, I mean, for some reason, this chat has always thought that I don't like Kobe Mainu, when I'm like, he's one of my favourite players.
Yeah, it's just the play. It's just the position. You've already said it's the position that they've got him playing in. You've always said that.
I'm a victim of like not being an athlete myself, and Paul Scholes wasn't an athlete. Like the thing is that to play in the Premier League now, it's unfortunately you have to have a physical base to play in it, or you've got to be the last player that did really well that didn't have that physical base is probably someone like Eden Hazard. Like, he wasn't like tracking back or doing stuff like that.
He wasn't professional, but then you make the team, you build a team around these type players. That's what they did, to be fair. Don't worry, you don't have to track back. The rest of the team did it.
Yeah.
Because they knew that when they gave him the ball, he was going to produce, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like unfortunately you've always like you've got to look at someone like Brian Mbeumo, Anthony Gordon, and the first thing you've got to look at is like what their kind of defensive ability is. And then if they've got that, then look at the attacking stuff. And with a lot of our players, we have assembled like the most unfit team I think that the Premier League has seen for a long time.
Our teams are always. I never understand this.
Yeah.
Why the teams are always so unfit? Every manager who comes in, the team's unfit. But we can see the team's unfit. Why? Ten Hag, wanted them to run. Obviously, they didn't. We'll see what happens come next season with Amarin's system and if they are able to run. Because I don't really want that to be an excuse. We're
getting there.
Yeah.
Hojlund can run. He's not very good. Dorgu can run. I'm not convinced. Delo can run. Mazraoui can run. Like, we're beginning to get some runners in the team, but then we've got Casemiro, Xerxes, even Garnacho isn't. I think that if Garnacho wants to take a step up to the next level, he's got to become a little bit stronger and a bit more balanced. He's got to do what Rashford never did, and like look at Bale and Ronaldo and work on your body.
Bit.
Yeah, get that light heavyweight build that you need to be a top level striker, like forward.
Yeah, but then that's down to
it's down to him.
Yeah, that's down to him. He, if that's something that he wants to do, then he'll do it because the facilities are there for him to do it. If he doesn't, then he'll stay. It said like Rashford, same body, same slight body build at 20 at 27, whereas Bale at once, and even look at Jude when he's gone to Real Madrid, he's got really big, even when they go to Germany, you look at the size of, they put on muscle mass. So look, we'll see. Welcome Ben, I hope you're doing well.
He's still on holiday.
Ooh, Ben?
Yeah, he's always on holiday in his picture.
Yeah, he's a lucky guy. Sorry, what was I saying? I was gone. It probably wasn't.
I wanted to talk about Sancho actually, because I did a bit of research.
Come on, talk to us. What you got?
Right. So as we all know, the current situation is those Cowboys down at Chelsea are trying to they're trying to Welsh on a bet basically. Like, there's absolutely no way that they can't legally not sign Sancho, so they're trying to break the contract. And I went and had a little look to see what happened. Like, have any teams ever done this, broken a contract? And I found two. One was Everton, where basically they had a loan to, like, an obligation to buy. All the stuff was fulfilled, and then they went and renegotiated it on the basis of the COVID pandemic, where they said, like, we just don't have the money coming in. We can't afford this. And they did actually come to a sensible arrangement with Nice, of all people. The second one is much more interesting. It was a guy called Augustine from Leeds. And
yeah,
right. So here's the story. Leeds were in the Championship. They got this player on loan. He filled all the criteria. They got promoted, and Leeds tried to break the contract on the basis that it was COVID once again. And they said that this is just, that this is an unforeseen. I suspect it's act of God is the legal definition of it. And what happened is they didn't pay for Augustine. They got taken to court, like CAS, the highest court, for like sport in Europe.
Mm.
They had to pay Augustine the player 25 million, and they had to play the club the full price. They got absolutely done by it, and that is a legal precedent. So I am very, very sure that Chelsea are playing with a huge amount of fire in what they're doing. And their only hope is that Ratcliffe comes to an agreement with them. Like, you know, they renegotiate it, and I don't know, we'll try and do something ridiculous like pinch Cole Palmer, or we'll probably end up with Cucurella.
Badashile, yeah.
But so looking at this, I think that like Chelsea are, they're in a lot of, they're really playing with fire.
Good. As long as they can't get out of it by time, I don't want him back at the club. He said whatever he said. He put up his freedom and his fifth thing. You know, get stuff, bruv. Go and do it. Go and write Chelsea.
I know, he's like Peter Odemwingie, isn't he, with that freedom post?
Yeah,
like,
he's just piss off, man. He didn't want to play for the club. You know, he didn't want to play for Ten Hag, fine, but I still see it as a disrespect that he didn't play for the club. But look, it is what it is. On a happier note, Heavens posted on Instagram, it's been a surprise to everybody, to be fair. Thank you guys for the support. I've read all your messages. I'm doing really well and recovering. I'm doing really well and recovering fast. Red Heart. I want to ask you something about what Amrin said at the time. He said that he's young and doesn't know his body. You know, sometimes you just feel pain. Like if I've done my ligaments twice. So the first time I did it, I didn't know what I did.
Right.
But the second time I knew what I did because I'd experienced it. Maybe because he hadn't experienced, you know, pain like that or something. Maybe he thought it was something a little bit more serious.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that sort of line of argument. It's that when I sometimes fall down the stairs, and when I land,
sorry.
Do you know what I mean? You do a quick check to make sure everything's not broken.
You sometimes fall down the stairs, bro. So it's more than like on one occasion, like just.
I'd say about twice a year.
Not drunk.
No, I like to kind of bounce down the stairs and sometimes get it wrong. Yeah, it's just, you know, like when I was a child, like I used to run up the stairs on all fours. But
you're a child, half time. You're supposed to. At your age, you don't need to be bouncing down the stairs.
Yeah, but I just do it when no one's like watching. You know, it's like, you know, stepping on a crack in the street. If there's no one on the street, I'll avoid the crack. Look, don't worry about me going down the stairs. But when I broke my leg and my ankle when I was younger, about 15 or 16, and I can vaguely remember getting up and standing on it, and then I can't remember anything for a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? Like I had no idea what I had done. And I think with Heaven, when he say he doesn't know his own body, it might be more to do with the fact that he doesn't understand the limits of his own body, and that, like, you know, he was overstretching, like he was putting himself in a silly position or something, because that's like, you know, when for example you're blocking a cross, there is technique that you use for like blocking shots and blocking crosses, and it is that when they make contact with the ball, you have to have all your weight on the foot that you're trying to block it with, because that means that also means that you can then pivot off if they cut back inside. So when I complain about De Ligt sliding in, he's got a poor tackle technique because he's just completely overcommitting himself. And maybe it's something like that Amrin is referring to, but it's also, you know, they have like these kind of bras on in training with like some monitoring equipment and stuff like that. And maybe, you know, Heaven in his puppyishness has like pushed into the red zone or something. I'm not sure what Amrin means about that, but I think that those are reasonable interpretations.
Okay, well, I mean, look, the fact that he's posting, to be honest, we did for the worst. So I'm really hoping that we get him back as soon as possible, because I think he has made a difference, and
looks good.
Yeah, I like the fact that the two players who came in for Martinez hasn't been missed in any way. I think defensively we're strong at the club at the moment. I just think the situation's offensively. I mean, if you look at the cover that we've got, if you look at what we've got centre back wise, Maguire, De Ligt, Euro, Heaven. I mean, Heaven's probably just surprise. Martinez, if he's fit, sure, probably. Have I missed out anybody?
No, I don't think so. Lindelof he did okay in one game. He was pretty poor against Leicester. I mean, you can't be getting handed off by a 40-year-old Jamie Vardy like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, like that's. I think that like Lindelof is a decent player, but I haven't seen what Jamie Vardy did to him. His time is over. I think our back line looks to be our strongest unit at the moment. We're doing pretty well there. You have to give some credit to De Ligt, because he was the main guy next to Heaven, and he was sort of like pointing. He was talking Heaven through that game, so that's nice to see. I just like, what's interesting is that Yoro played left centre back most of the time since Amrin has come in. Heaven was at left centre back. And I would personally love to see Heaven, Maguire, Yoro as a back line.
See, and I would go Heaven, De Ligt. Yeah. I mean, look, it's just a preference, but the fact that we've got the two youngsters out there, Heaven and Yoro.
Well, I want to see a left footer on the left and a right footer on the right, because
it makes a difference.
I think it's. I have to say, I think it's a bit overrated. I know what it's about. It's about passing to the back foot and things. But I think that if we've got these two kind of young tyros in Heaven and Yoro, and we can see.
Yeah, but they're both left and right-footed, Bob. You said that. I thought that's the reason why you wanted them in, because they are.
Yoro is right-footed.
Yeah, so he goes and Heaven's left-footed. So I just thought that's what you said. It was overrated.
Yoro has played on the left mainly.
And he did a good job. I know he did a good job, to be fair, as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So that's why I want to see him on the right. Where do you remember the game? I think it was against Rangers. It was Yoro's debut, and he was hitting hit a beautiful ball up the pitch. He drove up a little bit on his right foot. Like, I'd like to see a bit of that. And we saw Heaven doing some tricky stuff, like, you know, chopping inside and things like that. He looked a lot more comfortable on the ball. I think if we got these two young centre backs, if we can get them fit and, praise the Lord or whatever for Heaven. Like, hopefully it's his house, but hopefully, Heaven's going to be back before the end of the season. I would like to stick those two in for a couple of games, have the best communicator, if that is De Ligt or if that is Maguire, or maybe it's Lindelof, who knows, but someone to talk them through it. And I think that we're all right in those positions, because outside centre-back, you're mainly looking for physicality, and those two have got it in spades. So I'm pretty hopeful about a back line. I think that we've got something that in 2 or 3 years is going to be pretty, a really difficult lineup to go against.
No, and they're tall. I mean, the one thing I know you talk about is height. They're all units. So, I mean, look, the youth part of it, maybe we are in a slightly better place than we think we will be. But look, we'll see. So BT, obviously we've been on for the hour. What have you got to wrap the shark with?
All right. Do you want to play the game, or do you want to save it for later in the week?
Oh, you know, let's play a game.
All right, we can play a game. Chat, you can join in, but this is mainly for Mr. B, so you're going to help Mr. B.
Shit. Okay.
Right. I've got the player. Right. So for March, the player of the month is going to be Bruno Fernandes. I'm fairly sure they've just announced it on the club website that the voting is up. So I thought I'd go and look at the previous players of the month, and I have them. So first of all, Mr. B, who was the player of the month for August, the first one of the year?
Oh my God.
He's a player you like.
I like then, or I've begun to like.
No, you've always liked. Andrew, this is for Manchester United.
Who's played well? Well, it definitely wasn't Marcus. Who's played well? All right, Ahmad.
Correct. It was.
Oh,
Ahmad.
fuck off! Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
lovely. All right.
I thought.
All right. I'll take that one.
I thought you'd looked at chat. All right.
I'll take that one. Okay.
Now,
okay,
September.
Let me take the chat. Hold on, let me take the chat off so that I'm not, so you know that I'm not cheating.
Okay.
There we go. I'm on the banners one now. Yeah, go on.
All right. Okay. Right. September is an absolute shocker.
Shocker.
It's a shocker. The Manchester United player of the month for September.
We still had Ted Hagin causing chaos, didn't we? September.
We did.
That means it wasn't a forward then. Shocker. I know it wasn't bloody.
The chat have got it. The chat have got it.
Good. All right. I'm gonna say a shocker.
Who's our worst player?
Onana.
It was Onana.
Fuck off.
No, I won't. It was Onana. He was the September player of the month.
I only got it because of the clue. Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, okay.
September?
Oh, so you didn't say, are we in October now? Didn't you say September just now?
Yeah. Sorry, yes. You're correct. We're in October now.
I mean, it's not going to make a difference anyway. You know I'm going to need a clue. All right, hold on.
All right, it's a forward. Or an attacker.
Bruno.
Not Bruno.
Oh, shit. Well, it's not bloody Rasmus. It's not Rasmus.
I'll give you a clue. Sancho. But it isn't Sancho. Who kills Sancho?
Oh, Garnacho.
Yes.
Sancho Slayer. Yeah, Garnacho. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm actually going to show like some of the people that have got things right. So, August Agile Beast was correct. So was Steph. And then Steph got Onana. Stuart got Onana. Agile got Onana. Titanium got Onana. For the last one we got, Andrew went for Maguire. Garnacho. Then Andrew's actually it's Garnacho, yeah. And then Agile Beast is Garnacho. So for November, we've got a new player of the month. Okay. One that hasn't been mentioned before. And I'll give you a clue, he's a defender. Defender.
Delete.
It was not Delete.
Oh, okay.
Stuart Marshall has got it correct.
It's not going to be Maguire.
Not Maguire, but he starts with the same letter.
Mazraoui.
It was Mazraoui. So Agile Beast got that. Stuart got that.
Okay.
Okay. Right, now we move into the Ruben Amorim period. Okay. So for December, Ruben's first month at the club, who do you think was the player?
Ahmad.
You positive?
Yeah.
All right. You're absolutely correct.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the next ones are quite easy, aren't they? All right. So Ahmad for December. Who about January? Give you a clue. It wasn't Wayne Rooney. It's a player that's already been mentioned.
For January. Who's played really? We haven't had any. Well, it's definitely not going to be Onana. So we can't.
It's not Onana. It's not Rasmus Hojlund.
We've mentioned Mizrahi. It's not going to be Mizrahi. Who else have we mentioned? Ahmad, Bruno.
We haven't mentioned Bruno.
Oh, Bruno then.
It's not Bruno. Well, these are the players that have been mentioned. August was Ahmad, September Onana, October Garnacho, November Mazraoui, December Ahmad. It's another one of those again.
Wow. Garnacho hasn't been that great, so I'm not going to go Garnacho.
Do you want a clue?
Mazraoui?
He won it in December.
I see, my memory's no good. Who won it?
It was literally less than a minute ago, and it's the first one that you instantly knew. Who was the player of the month? Yes.
Has Ahmad had 3 players of the month for us?
Ahmad has had 3 players of the month for us.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that shows how important he's been for us and what we've missed when we haven't had him in the team. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that does show. I think what that shows is just how rubbish we've been, because, like, you know, we're in 15th. Like, you know, we're flirting with 16th in January.
I mean, was that? Are we finished? Have we got through all of the months?
No, there's one more.
All right, come on then.
Well, we're going to do this, right? So Agile Beast got it correct. Titanium got it correct. Steph, for some reason, is saying that -9 was second in a lot of these. Stuart obviously got it correct. Andrew's got it wrong with going for Thierry Henry. Might be time for bed, Andrew. You're bored. Steph went for Mazraoui. February. Who's the best player in February?
Xerxes.
It's not Xerxes.
Oh, shit.
It's Roy Keane's favourite player.
Oh, Bruno. Yeah, Bruno. Bruno, his favourite player. Yeah, Bruno.
And Luke Littler as well. A real athlete, not like that Yamal. But interesting, because if Ahmad's back after the international break, I don't think that anyone can sort of like say we haven't picked up better performances and better form in the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
With Europe coming up, maybe things are aligning. Yeah, just whisper it.
Just BT don't just don't. I said it loud, and now, you know, I'm starting to wish I never said nothing, because look, we're not going to talk about it. We're just not going to talk about it.
What, on a Manchester United channel as we sit in 14th? We're not going to dream.
No, but you know, we're not going to dream after an hour and 10 minutes into the show. We'll dream earlier next time. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll dream earlier. Well,
I mean, I kind of forgot that Ahmad had won 3. I knew that he won the first one. Yeah, and that's for I think you could argue it's for 3 different managers, like with like Rude kind of at the tail at the beginning of December, maybe. He's done well, and it will be good. It would be good to see him back, and he's also done that in, I think, 3 different positions.
And you know what it is as well? Maybe you see, he's now into a team that knows the system that they're supposed to be playing. You know, whereas before he might have, not going to say he was the one who understood it, but he was the one performing.
Yeah. Now the rest of them are a bit more sort of clued up. We're beginning.
Yeah.
That sort of like Bruno Casemiro midfield they've definitely been working on that switch out to Delo at right wing back.
Yeah, well, I was
So
calling that a lot, but it's strange. It's only that side. You know, they don't do it from. Well, you know what? Maybe because Maguire isn't playing Maguire, but he's tend
yeah,
to switch it more centrally. But they tend to pack aside and leave one free, and that's how Dalot pulled it back for Bruno. So
he's the apple.
we're seeing patterns. We're seeing
Yeah.
patterns. The one thing that we said we didn't see, we're seeing patterns. You know, not too much combinations, but they are coming. I mean, look, as I said, we've got a long break, so this is something else that I know we're going to end up having a
when you look at it, right, we constantly said we don't really understand what the plan is with Ten Hag. I think now everyone has seen that, like, the plan is for loads of players to run past the ball and then Delo or whoever to pull it to the edge of the box. Yeah, and that we understand that. And with, like, I'm not a huge fan of Dorgu, but hopefully he can begin to sort of like get a bit of quality in. And then if he plays Ahmad on the other side,
that's another set of bullets. See, I see Ahmad. If Bruno stays where he is, you don't have Delo's defensive nature in Ahmad or Mazraoui if they're playing on that side. So, you know, I said maybe it's just a Leicester win and we're feeling a little bit giddy, but I think we've played better in the last few games. And it hasn't just been Bruno scoring the goals. I think the team has played better. We've created chances. I mean, look, we've been screaming for -9 to get chances in a game, and he's actually getting chances in the game now. So, you know, I think there's green shoots, bath time. You know, whether or not it takes us to where we want to get to before the end of the season, who knows? But I think there's I'm
feeling a little bit better about stuff. I still think we're too reliant on Bruno, but with Ahmad coming back, with maybe Mount coming back, like let's see where we are. We got tough games ahead of us. It's like Forest, City, and Leon. I think. Like,
is that the order?
Yeah, it might. Forest. Yeah, I think it's Forest, City, Leon.
I thought it was Forest, Leon, City, but you might be right.
It could be, but like those are our next 3 games: Forest, City, and Leon. And you know, like, all I've really wanted.
Yeah, you're right. Honest, Forest, City, Leon.
Yeah. Look, Andrew's actually put them up here. We've got Forest, Leon, City, Leon, Newcastle. Newcastle, I think their season is finished. I think, like, they're just on the beach now to the rest of the year. So I'm not sure if that's going to be as hard as it looks on paper. But all I want this to be is, I remember when we came second under Ollie, no one really was that concerned about us coming second. They were more concerned about Liverpool, because Liverpool had got to the final of the Champions League and they were going like a bullet through the league. You could see that the momentum was with them. And if, let's just say, in a fantasy situation, we win the Europa League and we also win, 7 out of 10 games or something, it really puts a different complexion on next season.
Yeah, it does. But the players who got them there are going to be, a few of them, I think that's going to be down to a lot of players' individual pride, because by now they know who's going and who's not going. Yeah. They have to want to do the best for themselves and the best for the club. They could go out there and sulk half time. I'm not going to say they're going to go out there and misplace a pass, but you have to be self-motivated sometimes. So I hope that they can hopefully keep that motivation. If we do get to the final, which we're all hoping, I want them to be motivated enough to.
Yeah, they will be. They will be, because even players like Eriksen and stuff, they've got to go and find a new club. Yeah, they've got to be fit. They've got to be sharp. People like Casemiro, they don't want their legacy petering out. Like, someone like Casemiro will be thinking, do you know what? At Manchester United, I won 3 trophies, including a European trophy. That's a good, sort of like epilogue to my career in Europe. That's really good. And then you know, you've got players like Garnacho, Kobe fighting to kind of get themselves into the first team. Like, you know, Onana and Rasmus might be thinking, do you know, like, Onana might be dreaming about
I missed the whole
saving.
that time. Sorry, bro.
I was saying, like, players like Onana and Rasmus.
Saving anything. Saving anything.
What if he gets us? What if he wins us the European Cup, like the Europa League on penalties, like saves 2 penalties? Onana. What if Rasmus?
The only way he
scores
saves 2 penalties is if he dive it and it hits off his foot.
Whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. But in this fantasy, he's saving.
I will take whichever player. I don't have a preference. Well, actually, I do have a preference. I don't have a problem if it's Onana, whether it's Maguire, whether it's Shaw. I don't care. Whoever plays, as long as we win, I wouldn't have an issue. Now, the players who I want to shine, I would just love it to be Xerxes or Ahmad. For me personally, Xerxes or Ahmad, those two different reasons, you know, but yeah, either one of them two, that would make my summer, mate. That would make my summer.
I just imagine Heaven, like back post, getting up, getting his head on the ball.
A proper header.
Yeah, Amas with a deflected free kick in the last minute.
He's talking about all the kids. Look at him. Oh my God.
Like, honestly, there is still enough rope for me to get deluded about like the dog end of this season, because
I know, isn't it ridiculous? We've been bitching out. I know,
the players will be as well. Like Rasmus and Onana saying, "Oh, I want to stay at the club" and things. You know how you stay at the club? You perform in these European games. Onana, you play an absolute blind. You've got to the final of the Champions League. Rasmus just scramble some goals in against like Lyon and
some mess,
and Frankfurt, and then you can earn yourself like a place for next season, and that hopefully that's what the players are focused on. And Bruno raging away in his little Portuguese cave, like thinking about this is how he gets back at Roy Keane. He actually like plays in a final. Roy Keane can't say that.
He can't. Oh God.
Yeah. So,
look,
Yabba,
we've got that's good. We got Giddy. We got Yabba fired, didn't we?
Yeah, if Yabba's watching, he's probably loving this in his car driving along. All right, but we've lost I think 70% of our viewers now. So it's probably time to go.
Yeah, because we were happy, we were talking about a final, and everybody thinks that with them, they're thinking these bloody stoners, they're on here talking shit now, aren't they? Oh God!
Absolutely.
Right, look, guys, look. Yeah, we will be back tomorrow. What day is the England game on?
I don't know. I literally have no idea.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's what I wanted to hear. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Whether the England game's on or not, it doesn't make no difference. We're not going to change our time because we're United and we're not an England channel.
Yeah.
And
we'll play a United game tomorrow. We'll play one of those games that I came up with.
Yeah, I think I did.
You did well.
Well, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, that was really good.
I think, to be fair, one time, if you didn't give me the clues, I wouldn't have got him. Guys, look, it's a big lack of notch from me.
It's a lack of notch from me.